Okay, so when we tell people about our service-based business, we typically run into 4 problems. And the first one is that they're not excited to hear about what we do. We get blank looks or short one-word answers like, oh, or interesting. Sometimes our own family and friends sound, well, skeptical. And it's really frustrating to be good at what you do and not be able to convey it to other people. They question your qualifications, almost looking for reasons not to hire you. A lot of time it's family and friends who know you in a different capacity and find it hard to believe that you can help others. Maybe they've been burned before by somebody that didn't deliver. Maybe they don't trust themselves, or they think it's going to be hard, and they don't have what it takes to make it work. And you don't want to be this guy. You want to change people's lives, not come off as a sleazy used car salesman. But there's a different way, and my system solves all 4 of these problems. First, it allows you to make a captivating connection, one where prospects are genuinely intrigued by what you have to say and what you're offering. They start conversations about your business and ask good questions about what you can do for them. Clients learn that you're uniquely qualified to help them without you having to brag about yourself. You have a mixture of knowledge and training and experience. You've overcome obstacles and you've come a long way. Your story and your journey are your qualifications. You build credibility and cement yourself as the expert and show them how easy you make it for them to succeed by simply describing the steps that you take them through. Creating a 3 to 7 step system turns your invisible service into something tangible that they can see and understand. People love to buy. Making an irresistible offer makes it easy for prospective clients to say yes and take action by enrolling with you in your programs. You won't have to rely on trickery or hype, and clients will talk themselves into hiring you. Okay, let's look at the 4 steps in detail. The first thing we want to talk about when we want to get their attention is actually talk about them. That's the thing they're most interested in. That's what we're going to lead with. We'll talk about them and their problem. Next, you're going to talk about you. And this is where you're going to talk about your expertise and the type of results that they can get after working with you. And then you could talk about your process. And that's the steps that you take people through in order to lead them to a better life. And then you could talk about working together, which I like to call the us phase. Right? How are we going to work together, and what can we get done? What's most interesting to me is that a lot of people kill their chances of getting new clients by doing this in the wrong order. Recently, I was at a seminar and I bumped into a woman, and I had just read her blog post before the seminar. And I mentioned it to her. I thought it was an interesting blog post. And she said, hey, I'm having a workshop on Wednesday. One state over, you should come to the workshop. Did she follow this system? No. She actually started in the 4th quadrant with us working together, and I wasn't ready for that. She wanted to go straight for buy my stuff and then backpedal through, well, I have a process and it's really easy to do, and if you come in the live event, you'll get more out of it. And then she went into number 2, that it was about her in this case, and she's an expert. She's been doing this for 20 years in corporate America, and then she asked about me. So it was completely backwards, and she was really, really working very, very hard. And at that point, I wasn't interested. Would it have been different if she said, oh, what did you like about my blog post? What type of issues are you facing? Well, my expertise is in that area. I have a process, and by the way, I have a workshop for you. Would have been an entirely different scenario, and quite possibly I would have attended. Okay, so let's talk about how you do this and do this correctly. So first, we start by talking about them, And we're going to do this with the captivating connection. Okay, and this is start by talking about them because that's the thing that they're really interested in. Okay, then you're going to talk about yourself using your $1 million story, and this is where you're going to talk about how you developed your expertise and the type of results that you're able to get for your clients, so that they can really see themselves living a better life. And then you'll talk about the process that you take them through with your standout system. And this is really going to make the steps really come alive and make your invisible service become much more tangible. And then when you get to the us phase and the working together phase, you'll present your irresistible offer. And this is where you'll give clients the opportunity to talk themselves into working with you. And you're not going to have to work nearly as hard as the woman did at that seminar. Step 1, your captivating connection. This is where you'll generate intrigue in your potential customers with what you have to say and what you're offering. Your captivating connection is designed to give the audience just enough information so that they have an idea of what you're talking about and want to know more. It's also designed not to overwhelm prospects. Otherwise, they'll just tune out. Remember the 4 steps that we had before: them, you, process, us. Your captivating connection really focuses on them and the problem they face. The WIIFM, what's in it for me factor. Think of your captivating connection as a mini overview of what you offer to clients. We're going to engage them where they are, including the issues they face, and then we'll show them a better future for themselves, one that they can see themselves really enjoying and living in. And we'll build a bridge from where they are to where they want to be that makes it easy for them to get there. In my full course, I teach several formats for your captivating connection or irresistible introduction. For today, I'm going to cover the briefest form, which, when you get this right, will generate great interest in your work from your ideal client. Your captivating connection will need 4 things: a description of who you work with or your ideal client, the biggest problem that they face, how you help them, and the result they achieve after working with you. For example, I work with fashion and beauty designers that need e-commerce websites and create beautiful websites consistent with their vision so they can make money while extending their brand identity. Or, I work with stressed out executives who are burned out and teach them to permanently release their stress so they can fully enjoy their home life and further their career. Now, the most important part, the part you really want to nail, is their problem. I have an exercise to help you get this down for your ideal client. Take out a sheet of paper, and using the questions on the screen, you're going to describe their problem. Okay, so what are they frustrated with? Okay. Do they want more money? Are they looking for a perfect relationship or trying to fix the one that they have? Or maybe they have a health, weight, pain, or energy issue. Okay, give you a minute. I want you to jot down what is the issue that your ideal client is facing. Okay, now for the second question, what do they want more of? Generally, people think that if they have more of something, their life will be better. So do they want to lose weight so that they have a more attractive body? In this case, somebody might be struggling with their weight and they want to have a more attractive body. Do they want more energy or health? Or do they want more money? Do they want more love or a better relationship? Okay. Now, to add a real emotional element, you're going to add a memorable feeling to the description. What will they be able to do once they have what they're looking for? Okay. Are they going to get rid of debt or find a new job? Are they going to get along better with a loved one, or are they going to find the partner of their dreams? Are they going to run a personal best or get rid of the pain that's been holding them back? Okay, so, yeah, I didn't have you fill in the second part. So, I want you now to jot down the people that you help. what do they want more of? Okay, I'm going to give you a minute to do that. Okay, and so what do they want more of? And now, why do they want it? Because then they'll be able to blank. And what is it that they really want to do? What is the why behind their desire? Do they want, do you work with clients who are frustrated with their weight because they want to have a more attractive body? Because then they'll be able to find the partner of their dreams. Okay, I'll give you another minute. Okay. So, listen, your captivating connection is just a brief introduction designed to generate curiosity, and you want to focus on their pain. My client Jill liked to network, but she wasn't getting any business from the events, or she wasn't getting any referrals either. So we created a slightly longer captivating connection, or elevator pitch, that she used at a networking event in New York City. The pitch was that she teaches people that need to get clients ASAP how to describe their service so they get hired right on the spot. This was an event where they go around the room and each person talks in turn. Generally, people leave these events with a stack of business cards. She left with 3 appointments. 2 of the people hired her. Based on Jill's success, I created a program around this and called it the Instant Yes Pitch. Okay, step 2, tell them your $1 million story. Your $1 million story will get folks excited about working with you because it allows them to see themselves having a better life. Okay, in our 4-part series of them, you, process, and us, here you really want to focus on you, yourself, and the results that you can create for them. Your $1 million story, the story about how you came to be the expert that you are, gives your service a life. This is where your prospect can start to see themselves in a better future and having a better life after they work with you. Before your $1 million story, they're interested. Afterwards, they can actually see themselves as being successful. This is especially true if you have an information or knowledge or wisdom-based business. When you craft a $1 million story about yourself based on your life experience, people come to know, like, and trust you, so they're more apt to buy from you. And it won't take weeks or months of emails or blog posts either. One story that resonates with your client is all that it will take, and you'll be able to build desire in your prospects so that they'll buy from you faster. If you don't have a $1 million story, people won't understand what makes you unique or qualified to help them. You'll become a me too voice in a sea of commodities, and it's going to be like 10 times more difficult to attract your ideal client that are willing to pay what you're truly worth. There are several formats or templates for your personal story, and today we're going to review one of the simplest and most effective ones available. There are 3 parts to the $1 million story: the problem, the solution, and the payoff. The magic happens when your problem is the same or similar to their problem. They bond with you, and they see you as someone who understands them and what they're going through. So describe a time when you experience the same or similar problem that your clients are facing. This is actually similar but more detailed version of the problem you mentioned in your captivating connection. The more your problem looks and sounds like their problem, the deeper connection they'll make with you, and the more they're going to see you as the person who understands what they're going through, and quite possibly the only person who can help them. In the second part, the solution, you want to describe how you came to find the solution to their problem, including all the time, money, effort, and pain involved. For most of us, it was a trial and error process. For some, it involved a lot of research, which led to a solution. And for a few, the solution was obvious, and they didn't realize that other people had a problem until they stumbled into them. This process of how you develop the solution makes you an expert in their eyes. The more blood, sweat, and tears that you invested in finding and developing a solution, the more valuable you are. Now, you're just going to give them an overview at this point because you're going to go into more detail in the next part, your standout system. Now, the third part of your $1 million story, the how you help other people with this problem, is like a promise of what they can experience by working with you. This is the part you really want to focus on. What happened after you found the solution? How did your life change? What are people able to do that they couldn't do before? And how does that make their life better? Again, this is similar to the after picture from your captivating connection, but it has more detail. These three elements will appear over and over again in your sales and marketing, and by putting them into a story, your $1 million story, they become memorable. People love stories, and they remember them 10 times more than facts or figures. Your story brings a deep connection with your tribe and brings to life the possibilities for your clients. Okay, let's work on your $1 million story. Get out another sheet of paper, and I'm going to walk you through it. Now, in the first part, what was a problem you faced before you went into business that you believe you can solve? Now, it doesn't actually have to be one that you faced, but it's good if it is. But if somebody else close to you faced a problem, it could be something like that. Typically, though, it's something you did. Okay, let me give you a minute. Write down the problem that you faced that you can help clients with. Okay, next, what was the process you went through to find the solution? What did you read? What did you attend? What did you research? What did you try? All of that counts. How long did it take? What were you skipping in order to do that? So, were you not going out with friends or family? That sort of thing? You want to include all of the pain. And you want to make it clear that you've done all of the hard work so that they don't have to. It's more convincing the more work that you've done. If you say, hey, I just walked across the room and I found the solution, they think that they can do that too. So talk about the mountain that you climbed. Okay, so I want you to write down a brief description of how you found the solution. I'll give you a minute to do that. Okay, and the third part, how was your life changed? What changed in your life, and what were you able to do that you were not previously able to do? And you want this to mirror or be in parallel to the things that your clients are able to do after they work with you that they couldn't do previously. Okay, your story provides encouragement to your clients. It says, I was worse off than you. If I did it, so can you. Now, one of the best $1 million stories out there is probably Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You've probably heard the story yourself. His biological father was well educated but poor, and his friend's father, who acted as a mentor, was rich but humble. Whether you like Robert's story or his books or programs or not, it's hard to ignore how effective it's been for him. His story is his brand, is his program, and they can't exist without each other. Step 3 of this process is your standout system. You build credibility and cement yourself as the expert and show them how easy you make it for them to succeed by simply describing the steps that you take them through. Now, in our 4-part process, them, you, process, and us working together, this is where we're really going to talk about the process and your expertise. As I mentioned before, people decide on emotion and justify with logic, and this is the logic piece. And prospects will use your standout system to convince themselves to become your clients. When you have a system that people can follow as they work with you, they trust that you know what you're doing because they know what to expect, and that they'll be able to implement the solution. And it makes the invisible tangible. They know that they're not going to be a guinea pig. Other people have done it, so they can too. You'll be branded as an expert, the creator of a trademark system. Okay, so your standout system is organized steps that clients can follow to get a result. Clients love systems because it makes a seemingly difficult or impossible task easier to digest. The things that I found that clients are looking for are simplicity, shortcuts, ideas that are fresh and new. A brand new method that they have not heard of before is very powerful in this case. And they want a system that they believe they can do with help from you. Okay, now it's your turn. Let's look at your standout system. Take out a new sheet of paper and make 3 columns. In the first column, I want you to jot down the steps you would take if you were to solve the problem all over again, starting today. Okay, I'm going to give you a few seconds. I want you to jot down some of the steps you would follow to solve the problem. Okay, now in the second column, I want you to jot down what each step does to get you closer to the big goal. And think of it as a benefit, and it's the thing that finishes the sentence so that you blank. What is the blank? Okay, so it could be that your step is to eliminate all of the carbohydrates from your cabinets. And you do that to eliminate the temptation. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few seconds. I want you to jot down the benefit for each of the steps from the first column. Okay, now in the third column, I want you to jot down how you discovered each step. What did you do? Was it research? Was it trial and error? Did a mentor teach it to you? I want you just to jot down how you discovered each of the steps. Okay, give you a few seconds. Okay. Because your standout system not only brands you as an expert, but also demonstrates your expertise, you'll be able to charge higher prices and make more money for the same amount of work. Now, in addition to making your services easier to sell, having a standout system does a couple other things that can seriously help your business. It increases the perceived value of your work and the investment clients are willing to make. You can raise your prices by 10x or more, going from hundreds to thousands of dollars, or from thousands to tens of thousands of dollars for the same work. And you can create passive and leveraged income. Remember those coaches I told you about earlier? I gave a short presentation and 13 of them hired me on the spot. Well, after working with them, I refined my system into 5 steps and got feedback about how each step helped them. The next time I offered the program, I charged 10 times the amount and went from $347 for the pilot program, where I created the content for the program 1 week at a time, to a $3,000 investment for the system. People happily signed up and thought it was a bargain. It was the same program, but having a system I could describe up front made it more valuable to my clients, made them trust me more, and removed a lot of the risk. So they were able to pay me more, which was awesome. Okay, step 4 in this process is your irresistible offer. Making an irresistible offer makes it easy for prospects to say yes and take action by enrolling with you without going through any trickery or hype. And in our 4-part process, this is the us, the working together. Okay, and here you really want to stress the value and action for clients. Now, the core of your business is your offer. When you give me A, I'll give you B. If you make a weak offer, your job of closing the sale gets a lot harder, and I mean a lot harder. Most people will pass on a weak offer, so you'll get less clients, and you'll have to resort to all sorts of sales and marketing trickery and spend more time and effort getting the few clients that you do get. People won't be able to refer you to their friends or family either. Now, on the other hand, when you make a strong offer, that's an honest-to-goodness great deal. Clients talk themselves into buying. They sign up on the spot. They're excited about working with you, and they're motivated so they get better results, give better testimonials, and refer their friends to work with you. Creating an offer can become very complicated. Entire books and courses have been written on the subject. The last training I saw on the subject had a 14-point system for creating an offer. 14! My full training includes a 7-part system for creating an offer, but it can really be much simpler than that. Whether there are 7 parts or 14 parts or 20 parts, it all boils down to 2 points: value and action. Value is what prospects want. They want to know that if they pay for your service and they do the work, that the payoff is there. It's the same thing you want when you buy a service. I recommend that you provide somewhere between 4 times and 10 times the value that you're charging. If they sign up and they do the work, they should think they got 4 to 10 times compared to what they pay. Okay, value is what your prospects want, and what you want is for your prospect to take action, to buy, so that you get the sale, and also so that they get their problem solved. All of the other parts of the 7 or 14 or 20 parts are all designed to either increase the perceived value that your new client is getting or to move them into action faster. Now, on the little chart on the screen, the green wedges represent parts of the offer that increase its value, and the red wedges are the parts that help move your prospects into action or to buy your service and to get started. Okay, so let's do a little practice on your irresistible offer. Get out a new sheet of paper and make 3 columns again. Now, in the first column, what's the biggest result that you can promise for a client? Now, there's a couple assumptions here. What's the biggest result you can promise to a client that's motivated and does the steps as you described them? There has to be an assumption that you have a motivated person who actually takes the steps. What's the biggest possibility for that person? Okay, I want you to jot down your promise in the first column. Give you a couple seconds. Okay, and now to really supercharge your offer, what can you throw in as a bonus? People love bonuses. Maybe it's a one-to-one quick start session with you. People love to have access to the experts, so that's actually a very good bonus if you can do that. Do you have a program that you've offered before that you can give them? Could you schedule a webinar and they'll get the recordings of the webinar for free? Or maybe you can invite them to a free talk that you're giving. Okay, I want you to jot down your thoughts for a bonus that you could offer. I'll give you a couple seconds to jot that down. Okay, now to move them into action, there are 2 things you can do. First, offer a guarantee, maybe a 30-day money-back guarantee. And second is urgency, maybe a special price if they sign up today. Now, which of these 2 options would be better for you? Okay, guarantee or a special price if they sign up today. I want you to jot down in the 3rd column which option you'd be more happy to offer. Okay, great. Okay, so when you simply offer an honest-to-goodness great deal, marketing becomes a lot easier. I was working with Brian, who was crushing it on YouTube. He was getting paid advertising, doing product reviews, and he was able to create pure passive income doing what he loved. His friends were always asking how he did it, so he wanted to create an information product that he could sell and help other people do it too. So he made a home study course and sold it for $4.97. His closing rate was a little bit lower than he had hoped. It was good, but not great. As we discussed the possible reasons, 2 things came up. First, maybe YouTube training had become a crowded space and there was a lot of competition. And second was maybe it was risky buying a purely digital package online. Now, Brian wanted a solution that required the least amount of work. He didn't want to rewrite his website at all. So what he did was he gave a $1 trial offer. Customers paid $1 to download the training and then paid $4.97 30 days later. And if they didn't want to pay, they just sent an email. Sales nearly tripled. He did get one person who didn't want to pay the $4.97, but that didn't cost him anything. and he made so many additional sales that it really didn't matter at all. Okay, today I promised to share with you the formula for describing what you offer in a way that makes people talk themselves into working with you. And as you can see, we went through all 4 parts in detail. Your captivating connection generates interest and engages your ideal client. Your $1 million story helps people see the possibility for a better life after they've worked with you. Your standout system demonstrates your expertise and convinces their logical brain that you are who they need. And your irresistible offer provides the value they're looking for and moves them into action by hiring you. So why did we cover these today? It's because they are the 4 most important assets for your business. They make the decision to hire you easy. And you're going to need these things before you can hire anybody to help your business. Copywriters, web designers, Facebook ad managers, anybody that you want or need to help you is going to need this information. These 4 elements are the core building blocks required for getting clients and building your business.